a quick tutorial here around your force plate testing information that you're going to be receiving. So just give you an idea of what exactly all of the information that you're receiving means, how it can be used to gauge your improvement, and then obviously how it can be used to direct your attention moving forward and what you need to be working on to continue to improve your overall athleticism. So giving you an idea here of how to read this particular dashboard. So what you're looking at here is some general data. Just this, for example, is men's lacrosse. But as you train, you're going to see your name in the athlete section, or the athlete that you've selected if you're a coach. If you're an athlete, you'll see your name, you'll see the sport, and then you're going to see a series of dates. And what the date that for this particular video doesn't matter as much. As an athlete, you're going to see all of your data, but if you're a coach and you want to just look at this semester or this year, this is where you would select that information, and that filter applies to everything except for these two data points, which only show the most recent data. Okay, so anyway, we'll go ahead and get started here. So up in the top right, you're going to see your IMTP setting. Mostly that's for performance coach use, but that's the setting that you use when you do the isometric mid-thigh pull. This first gauge chart is the counter movement utilization ratio. Counter movement utilization ratio is a measure of your ability to use what's called the stretch shortening cycle. And the way that I would think about that is if your number is over here on this left side, meaning that it's a little bit low, you have the engine of a monster truck, but the springs of a Prius. And so we're kind of looking at enhancing our overall, for lack of a better description, bounce if our number is over here in this dark purple. Now, if our number is over here in this light purple, meaning it's greater than 13%, you have the springs of a monster truck, but the engine of a Prius. And so in this instance, we just need more horsepower or more force production. So this is going to be a good way for you to gauge where you need to be training. Do you need to be training fast and bouncy, or do you need to be improving your overall force production? And anywhere in this 7 to 13% range is ideal. Obviously, right in the middle is right where exactly where you want to be. Similar on this gauge chart here, you're going to be looking at what's called dynamic strength index. And any number between 60 and 80 is going to be the number you're going to want to be at here. So you can see that we have this medium colored yellow, and the same thing applies. If you're down in here in under 60%, you have the engine of a monster truck and the springs of a Prius. So we need to be working on our velocity and our speed and things that are very ballistic and elastic in nature. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're over here and you're greater than 80%, and sometimes even up to 100 or 102%, then we have the engine of a Prius and the springs of a monster truck. So we want to be working hard on our engine, meaning we need more horsepower and more force production. So we're going to need to really try and get a lot stronger if our number is up in that vicinity. Okay? So that's kind of what those mean, and it's just a way of identifying what either the team needs, or if you're looking at this and you're an athlete, what you need as an individual, where you need to direct your attention. These data points are your body weight in pounds, and then your squat jump and your counter movement jump height in inches. Now, these are going to be typically, the body weight is going to be dead accurate. But the squat jump and counter movement jump, you have to remember that those are taken without arms. So we're looking strictly here at lower body function, not your ability to utilize momentum or enhanced technique, or the result of enhanced technique on a counter movement jump. So the skill here of jumping is somewhat removed, and it's just an assessment of lower body output. So if you're looking at like combine data or things like that, it's not necessarily comparable because the lack of upper body involvement in our testing process. And this is pretty common practice, not pretty common, it's very common practice in sports science across various, professional, collegiate, and and Olympic sport level. So especially when you're doing really high quality graded assessments. All right, as we move forward here, force profile is going to be right here. So this is the absolute peak force that you produce on the isometric thigh pull. So you can see here you're looking at 3,000 newtons and all the way up to 3,100 newtons where we're at as of January 22nd in this particular group. And you're going to see that same line on yours. And that is an indicator of, like we were mentioning about before, about how much horsepower you produce. Okay, so that would be what you're going to be looking at there. The force profile, or the power profile rather, over here is, so you're going to see your squat jump relative peak power in the purple bars, and your counter movement jump relative peak power in the yellow line graph. And relative means it's relative to your body weight. So this is scaled to body weight. So how much power do you produce per pound of body weight? That's what this graph is showing you. And obviously we want more power, and power is by byproduct of both your ability to produce force, so your horsepower, and your springs. So with those two things working together, what is the outcome of those two things being utilized sort of symbiotically? All right, and then down here at the bottom is your athletic score. And this I think this is probably the most interesting, because this is sort of like almost like your dollar value of your athleticism. And these numbers are the total score, and inside of these are each of the sub scores. So you can see the squat jump scaled, the counter movement jump scaled, and the IMTP scaled. All you can see those scores right here. And then if you move down, you can see them, on each one if you're on this dashboard live. If you're an athlete, all you're seeing is the actual aggregate score, or what's called the athletic score. And you want to think about that number, like I said, it's kind of like how much your athleticism is worth. And the closer you get to the 1,000 is really kind of the benchmark that we're trying to push toward. And anything over like 900 is really, really good. So that's kind of the direction that you want to be churning toward. And the way that you do that is you get stronger and you get faster. And those are the two things that that we obviously want to focus on a lot of our energy on. And this number actually is scaled to your body weight in a different way. So the bigger, the faster, and the stronger you are, and the more explosive you are, the better you score. The lighter, the weaker, the less explosive you are, the lower you score. So in essence, it rewards the athlete who has the engine and the springs of a monster truck. And so that's kind of the gist of where this is going. And obviously, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Happy to review your individual testing data or your team's individual testing data in more detail if that's something that you would like to do. And yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. And any questions, I look forward to enjoying the conversation. Thanks.